Hey, welcome. Today we are talking about the single best diet you should stick to all the time. I am so excited to talk to you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to do a quick little share of this broadcast on over to our Facebook group. We have a free community for women who are like-minded, taking action on their goals, and making their habits stick. So I got a lot of requests last week, and we had a lot of questions about what should I do to, what's the best diet? What food should we eat all the time? And I got a lot of requests to do topics specifically surrounding nutrition and planning. So this is the first one that we are going to tackle today. Let me just share this on over, and it is shared. Okay, perfect. So we're talking about the single best diet you should stick to. The three main things we're going to talk about today is the ultimate list of nutrition habits that you should follow, which trendy diet you should be sticking to right now, and what food rules to always follow. Now, I want to make a disclaimer right off the bat. If the title of this broadcast is the reason you clicked on it and caught attention, you are in the perfect place. So, I titled the name of this broadcast on purpose because there are so many health and fitness professionals that are pushing their special diet that has special properties, that gets you special results, and the only way to have success is to follow this very specific diet, eat only these foods, never touch these foods. Well, I am here to tell you that you're in the right place because I really want to help you with a mindset shift today. So my name is Tessa Shears. I'm a productivity coach. I am a wellness expert, and my job is to bust all the myths out there, break down all of your wellness habits, and make them easy for you to implement. So, are you ready for a mindset shift? I'm going to give it to you here. So, if a coach tells you that there is only one way to get results, or only one specific way to lose weight, or one specific way to do anything, I want you to run for the hills. So, the fact of the matter is, as a coach, we should be unbiased to the name of the diet or the type of rules that it asks you to follow, because here is the thing I want you to understand. There is no one diet that works for everyone. So if someone, maybe your best friend, lost 30 pounds on this specific diet, it does not mean you are going to lose 30 pounds. Well, why? Because the way our bodies change shape has to do with age, it has to do with gender, it has to do with ethnicity, it has to do with your hormones, it has to do with how your body regulates metabolism, it has to do with your body type. So there are actually 3 different body types, which I can go into in a different training, but they basically talk about whether you are naturally slim, naturally rounder, or naturally more muscled. And the category of this you fall into is going to dictate how your body processes different foods, stores different foods, uses different foods for energy. So you've probably known that type of person that says, oh my gosh, if I even look at junk food, I gain weight. And then there's the other type of person that says, yeah, I can eat what I want and I can't gain any weight. So this right here should tell you that there is no one specific diet. So what I want you to consider instead is this. What habits can you adopt to create lasting change? So I'm going to start right now by giving you my ultimate list of nutrition habits that I follow and I recommend to clients. So I never say you have to follow these habits. What I do is I say, well, what do we want to work on? Where is your nutrition lacking? So there are a series of wellness habits that to do with nutrition that I like to follow in sequence. So first, I always like to tackle not what you're eating, but how you're eating. So, what are you talking about? What do you mean how I'm eating? So I want you to think of maybe the last meal or maybe even the last dinner you had. Were you sitting at the TV? Were you on the couch? Were you eating fast? Were you at your desk? So oftentimes we overeat by accident simply because we're not paying attention to what's going into our mouth. So the first habits I always get clients to focus on are, okay, first of all, can we focus on eating slowly and without distraction? This makes us so much more aware of not only how much we are eating, but the quality of the food we are putting in our mouths. That's number one. Then what I do is I get you to tune in to your body. So when was the last time you ate because you were actually hungry? There's 3 categories of reasons people eat: because they want to eat, because they should eat, and oh my gosh, I can't remember the third one. So basically, the want to eat is the emotional one. The should eat is because, it's noon. I suppose I should eat. Oh, the third one is because you have to eat because you're hungry. There. So I want you to pay attention to those signals as why you're eating. So we're evolving this already. So then the next nutrition habits I get you to think about, and these can be in any order depending on what you need to work on. Do you have enough quality protein at each meal? Are you getting at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day? Are you eating healthy fats? Are you making smart carbohydrate choices? Are your meals balanced and planned? So these are the ones that I get clients to work through, because these are the habits that are fundamentally going to change. Because at the end of the day, if you do not choose a type of meal plan that you don't love and you can't wake up every day and do, I've got a newsflash for you. You will not stick to it. I need you to be realistic and say, what am I going to do? What am I willing to do? What am I ready to do? And what am I able to do every single day in order to hit your goals? So those are the kind of things we need to ask ourselves. So my ultimate list of habits, again, we're eating slowly. Why is your body eating? Are you eating fruits, proteins, healthy fats, smart carbohydrates, and are you planning your meals? So those are the ones that I like to focus on first. Now, when we're talking about what trendy diet you should keep, I want you to think about this. There's always a new trendy diet, whether it's the Bernstein diet, Atkins diet, maybe you're trying paleo, maybe you're vegetarian. I mean, if it fits your macros, there are so many different diets. And like I said at the beginning, the diet that works the best is the one you will stick to and the one that aligns closest to your values. So I need to say that again. The one that you are most likely to stick to is the one that will work best. If you go on a crazy low-carb diet straight out of the gate after having overeaten your whole life, I have a newsflash for you. It's not going to work long-term. I need you to choose something that's adaptable and progressive. So the trendy diet that works is the one you're going to stick to. So now, the question I had asked this week, and I did do a post on it, is what are the food rules you should always follow or never follow? So I don't like the word rules with food, because I think food should be an enjoyable experience. If I were to say that I had any rules per se, I would relate them back up to my habits. I'm looking at my meal and saying, does it have protein? Does it have vegetables? Does it have smart carbs? Did I plan this? Am I eating slowly? So those are the rules I would follow. But unfortunately, a lot of the time when I talk to clients about what their food rules are, the first thing they say to me is, well, Dr. Oz said don't eat carbs, so I'm not going to eat carbs. So I get that a lot. Or they say, I've heard that this food is bad and this food is good. So what's your list? What are good foods and bad foods? Which should I eat and which shouldn't I eat? And here's the thing. There is no such thing as a good food or a bad food. Now listen to this. Food does not go from good to bad. It runs along a continuum. So it can be anywhere along this continuum here, but I want you to think about this. There are foods that are more healthy and there are foods that are less healthy. On average, you want to choose about 80% of your foods that are closer to the more healthy end of the scale than the less healthy end of the scale. Does that make sense? So the rule isn't never choose foods from over here. It's just we encourage you to choose most of your foods from over here. So now if you're asking me, well, how do I know if it's a good food? How do I know if it's healthy? Well, I want you to think about this. I'm going to get you to ask yourself a couple questions. So I want you to picture your breakfast that you had this morning. And I want you to ask yourself these questions. Is it nutrient dense and nutritious? So it should be a yes or no. Did it have whole grains or fiber? Did it have fruits and vegetables? Did it have protein? Was it nutritious for me? Question number 1. Question number 2, what I want you to ask yourself is, how did I feel after I ate that? And with this specific question, I don't want you to think about emotions like guilt or anything like that. I want you to actually think, how does my body physically feel? Do I feel healthy and energetic? Do I feel slow and sluggish? Does my stomach get upset? Do I get headaches? Do I get bloated? So chances are, if you're choosing foods that fall into those later categories of stomach aches and bloated, or maybe you get really nauseous after eating certain foods, that might be a food that will fall on the less healthy end of the spectrum. And the last thing I want you to ask yourself is, did you choose this food on purpose? So a lot of the times we choose foods that are less healthy more out of impulse, lack of planning, and emotional things like cravings or, sad or bored or stuff like that. So I'm going to go over those again. Was it nutritious? Then the second question you're going to ask yourself, we're going to go to the third question, was, did I choose it on purpose? And how did I feel after? So that is what's going to help you choose your foods on the other end of the scale. So I want you to choose most of your foods that are on the healthier end of the scale. So I hope that has helped. And if you're looking at me going, yeah, but Shanessa, I don't know. I have this diet that I'm supposed to follow. Well, you know what the thing is? I want you to truly evaluate the foods that you're eating, and I want you every time for the next day to ask yourself those questions. Then ask yourself, am I eating slowly? There is no one diet that works. You have to choose habits that integrate into your lifestyle. I know that you can do this. If you enjoyed this type of content, well, I have a fabulous little gift for you. It is at TanessaShears.com/planner. It's a total wellness makeover guide. Not only do you get my system for planning a week's worth of meals in 60 minutes or less, it's how to prep for your workout so you never miss one during the week, and it's also the exact printables that I use to make sure that I never miss a workout or a meal prep again. So again, that's at TanessaShears.com/planners. And don't forget, I want you to leave in the comments below, what is the percentage that you eat of your good foods versus your bad foods? Let's start the conversation here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will talk to you guys this week. Take care. Bye.